So we're live. It's cocktail hour again. Whoo! Happy hour. It's the hour during which we can all be happy. I think I need to get some ice for the shaker. We're going to be using the shaker with ice. That should do it. So we're going to make a cocktail today that I've never made before. It's called The Last Word, and apparently it was quite popular pre-Prohibition, and we're going to make it today. It was suggested by my friend Rebecca. So thank you for the suggestion. I guess we're going to see how this goes. Anyhow, primarily what we're working with is gin. And I just have my standard Prairie organic gin, local Minnesota product. It would normally call for chartreuse, green chartreuse. I don't have any green chartreuse, but I do have Genepi des Alpes, which is basically really good green chartreuse. So we'll make it with some of that. And I have some Luxardo. It's a maraschino cherry liqueur. And lime juice. So, if anybody... Oh, hey, Lainey, how are you doing? Hopefully everything is going well down there in St. Louis. So we're doing 3/4 of an ounce of each of these in roughly equal proportions. I took a look at a couple of versions of this. Saw no mention of bitters. So I'm afraid, Brett, your earlier suggestion of doing something so long as it involved craft bitters is something I am failing at today. So it's going to be weird. It's the first time I've done this with no bitters. Let's see. Social distancing beer happy hour. So is that where everybody just has a beer and drinks it, but like 6 feet away from each other? Or was it a virtual thing? Let me know. And Mim's here too. She's just being quiet. This one, depending on how strong the chartreuse is in this, hon, you might actually like this. I know the chartreuse flavor is not something you like, but it's only one constituent, and the other pieces of this are such that you might actually dig it. We'll see. You want to taste when it's done? You sure? Okay. All right. All the ingredients are in the shaker. We get to shake it again. So exciting. I think this is like 3 shaken cocktails in a row. I need to go back and have something stirred. Let's see. Neighbors in the yard. You've got a good yard for that. You're well positioned. So much good beer, like within a stone's throw of you. All right, so I've shaken it all up, and recipe calls for double straining. So I'm not just pouring this out, I am pouring it and straining it. I'm not sure why. There's nothing in here that would have seeds or stems or sediment, but they said to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm just following instructions, man. Yeah, I'm not sure, other than a little bit of ice slivers, what would have gotten in there. So this is interesting. This is a color of like green that I normally associated with absinthe once you get the louche on. But let me go ahead and garnish this off, and got a couple of cherries here. I'm gonna put on this, and not knowing where I'm heading, I'm using Filthy cherries, so just a really good quality cherry, but not specifically selected for any particular property. And here we go, the last word. So thank you again, Rebecca, for suggesting this. Just gonna let that sit in there a little bit. Let's give this a taste. That is a tasty beverage. That is really good. I actually, there's enough of the flavor in there that it's just a hint, but I don't know. I think you should try a sip. No?
You don't have to do it right this second, do I? Are you planning on gulping that down?
No, I'm not going to gulp this down. I just figured, it might be nice for our guests to have not just my opinion of this. She's coming.
Did y'all hear my eye roll?
You can hear her eye roll from here. She's thinking about it. She's got a look on her face.
It's not bad. It reminds me of the Corpse Reviver. It's similar to the Corpse Reviver 2 that you did yesterday, but it's like the base note is the same, but to use a perfume analogy, like the top notes and undernotes are a little different.
Yeah. So it's
essentially a very lemony sort of deal.
Yeah. So what's interesting is the base note being the same. It's still gin, right? So you're like spot on there. I saw a recipe variation for this, saying to use mezcal instead of gin as a base.
Now that would be tasty.
You want I should make one of those right now?
Well,
Make a second.
Do a comparison side by side for your science.
We totally could. Science on the fly happening right now. I'm sorry, not the Corpse Reviver. That's what we did yesterday. The Last Word. Good. I like it. Very similar in profile, as Mim is saying, to the Corpse Reviver. I'm going to empty this out, and we're going to do something for science. We're going to try the same recipe, but instead of with gin, we're going to do it with mezcal. Yeah, it's going to get a little freaky in here. So then we're going to do a back-to-back taste test on this. All right. So I got to get the mezcal.
Let's see if I can do this without getting into the frame.
So here we go. The Casamigos mezcal. And thank you. I have an additional glass. Are you going to get me some ice so I don't have to be walking out of frame and back into it repeatedly? You're the best.
As long as I can stay out of the frame.
She's so good to me.
How cold does this need to be?
Just a few cubes. All right. Cool. Hey, folks. I am so glad you could join me for Cocktail Hour. We're going to make Last Word now with mezcal. So apparently the last word was not the last word. This is, I don't know if there's not an official name for a last word made from mezcal instead. I'm going to vote for calling it the Back Talk. Well, actually, let's see how it goes first, because I might just want to call it a shut up, but you never know until you try. And then, of course, it's too late. All right, so mezcal. And we've got some maraschino cherry liqueur. And again, keeping the proportions the same, 3/4 of an ounce for each of these guys. The Genepi des Alpes that is standing in for green chartreuse.
Feel free to skimp on that.
And lime juice. All right. And now, once again, we shake it up.
I feel like it's often as you're making cocktails, you should be keeping fresh lemons and limes on hand and juicing them.
That might be a good idea.
And we typically don't do that because
Oh,
they're just gonna go bad. You know?
that's cold. That's cold. Yep. And I'm going to need the double strain strainer again. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why it calls for doing this, but I will trust.
I like that shaker, but I almost always still prefer to use the regular strainer on top of it rather than the one just in the top of the...
Yeah, it's kind of an odd thing. All right, so here we go. Color, strangely enough, looks about the same. And could you get me another toothpick? So I could put some garnish on this one too.
Ooh, I get a fancy cherry. Ooh.
I'm going to give you 2 fancy cherries.
Awesome. No, when I make the sours out of the kumquat mix that I made, just because you're grinding up the peels and there's so much like little flotsam in it, you need more.
So, shall I try this first and then you? Or?
Go ahead.
All right.
You're the chef.
Oh, that's different, but that's really good. Oh, man.
Crabby.
Oh, yeah, I think that's some back talk happening there.
Yeah, that is good. Though I'm not sure I don't like that better.
Yeah? Here, back to back. We have a blind taste test going. Oh, not so blind. Because she knows.
I'm wearing my glasses, man.
Yeah, you just can't see her, so it's kind of blind.
An instance in which I don't like the mezcal better.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. And you know, I actually really dig the version with the mezcal. So there we have it.
I think maybe it's the way the mezcal is combining with the chartreuse. It brings up more of those kind of herby flavors
that aren't your favorite.
that I don't like as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So there you have it, folks. The last word, and apparently the what comes after the last word. So
a little bit louder. It's a little bit louder.
a little bit louder. Second verse, same as the worst, same as the first. A little bit louder, and a little bit not necessarily worse in this case. So I think we're going to finish these cocktails, enjoy them, maybe consume some media, maybe have some dinner. It could happen. And in the meantime, I hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you were able to entertain yourselves appropriately. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again, hopefully soon. Hopefully this stuff will be in the rear view mirror soon enough. But until then, stay healthy, stay sane, for relative values of sane. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Take care. L'chaim.